Good to see everybody. Good to see all your smiling faces. Happy St. Patrick's. Happy St. Patty's. As you can see, I'm wearing my green today. So celebrating by myself. Really, really exciting. St. Patty's is different than it used to be a few years back. Oh yeah, Lauren has her green on too. There you go. Awesome. Anybody else wore green? I can't really tell. Love it. All right. So before we get started, today's assistant instructor is Brian Muhammad. Brian, I'm going to come to you here in a moment. But I do know that some of you wanted to do your scenario, your ticketing scenario that we discussed yesterday. I know that feels like it was a really long time ago, 24 hours ago. But if you talk with your colleague, if you want to work together to demo your scenario, the person who didn't have their computer plugged in and the person who's calling the help desk to get for help. So, private message them and say, hey, do you want to, practice? And then if you want to, you can private message me and we can spotlight you and you can show us how it's done. Granted, you have a very hard act to follow after yesterday's performance because that was pretty good. But if you're interested, I want to allow some space for that. All right. So as you figure that out, if you want to demo your help desk customer service skills, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Brian Muhammad. Brian, how are you, sir?
I'm great.
Glad to hear it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Brian?
24 years old, Brooklyn, born and raised. I'm really excited to be here.
Awesome. We were excited to have you. What is something interesting about you, Brian?
Something interesting about me. I used to be a SoundCloud rapper. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Before Europe, I used to dog walk in the city for my friend's company. I did it for about a year and a half, and sometimes when I would walk the dog, I would see like random celebrities on the street. I saw Ben Stiller outside a coffee shop. I was dropping off a dog home, and I saw the guy from Zombieland moving into an apartment. So it was cool. It's a great experience.
That is really cool. Did you ever talk to any celebrities, or you just saw them and just?
I wanted to speak to Ben Stiller, but he had like two other people with him. So I saw him and I was like, and then he noticed, so I didn't want to bother him. So
Understand. I've seen some celebrities as well in my life. Living in New York, one person who I really wanted to talk to was BJ Novak, who plays Ryan in The Office. He's also one of the writers, and I saw him in the West Village, and we made eye contact, and he just kind of looked at me like, just please don't talk to me. I was so excited. Oh my gosh, that's BJ Novak, and he's like, come on, I just don't want to talk to you. So I respected it. You know what? You're a celebrity. People probably bother you all the time for a photo or whatever. I'm just not going to bother you. So
right.
I didn't. I just feel like that would be a pretty exhausting life. Yeah, same attitude as the show. Yeah, and The Office is my favorite show. That's why it was such a big moment for me. I'm like, oh gosh, I'm going to meet this guy. But I played it cool. And then the other person who I did play it cool with was in Joe Shanghai in Chinatown. I forget the actor's name, but he played Doug in House of Cards, Doug Stamper. And he was eating at the table behind me, and I was pointing at him. I was geeking out, and my wife was taking pictures of me pointing to him. And he's like, "Oh, come on, you don't need to do that." He actually got it from his table, put his arm around me, and we got a photo together, which was really cool. So some celebrities are like that, and some celebrities are like BJ Novak, just leave me alone. That's so cool. You saw some celebrities. That's pretty neat. Ben Stiller would be a hard one to not say hi to because he's a very talented, very talented person. Very cool. Sorry, that was my my tangent. All right, Brian, what question would you like to ask our group?
I guess if you guys were to meet a celebrity, who would it be and why?
Oh, there you go. Keep it on theme. What about you, Brian? What celebrity would you like to meet? You can put in the chat box, by the way.
I want to meet Drake, so I can ask him when he's dropping his album.
Okay. There you go. Very cool. So you say Drake. Gosh, if I could meet any celebrity, I don't know. That is a tough one.
You could speak, or you should put in the chat.
No, put in the chat. Yeah, put in the
Okay.
chat. I'm looking at people's. Daniel Heath asked, "Yes, The Office is my favorite show." Wow. So yeah, Keanu Reeves is an amazing person because he's this A-list celebrity, but he rides the train, he rides the bus, and he lives a very simple life. I actually really respect him for that. Kayla met Jim from The Office. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. The Rock. Yeah, The Rock would be a good one to meet. Kevin Hart would be another one for me. I'd like to meet him. Bad Bunny, that'd be pretty cool. No way, Megan met Taylor Swift in Central Park. That's so cool. Steph Curry would be cool. Carmelo Anthony. Awesome. LeBron, Adam Sandler, Keanu Reeves, Kevin Hart. Oh, someone else said that. Cool. All right. Wow. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Mike Tyson. That'd be pretty cool to meet Mike Tyson. Awesome. 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 I met 50 Cent, LeBron, and Uzi. Wow, Daniel. I'm just like really curious now. How do you know all these celebrities? Are you like.
How? Like what?
I went to an after school called Boys and
Okay.
Girls Club, and it's kind of funded by LeBron. So, and 50 Cent did a show there, little show, and Uzi did one as well.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. Actually, now that I thought about it, I actually met Isaiah Thomas a few years ago for a similar reason. I was working at a not-for-profit that he was sponsoring an event, and I met Isaiah Thomas, which was really cool.
Which Isaiah Thomas?
The son, the younger one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the younger one. Yep. Yeah, great guy. Awesome. Well, this is pretty amazing that all these celebrities, excellent. Love it. Thank you so much, Brian, for being today's assistant instructor. So in the event that someone has their hand up or put something in the chat box that I don't notice, just go ahead and disrupt me. Say, hey, Eric, so-and-so has a question. Happy to answer. All right. I did not see anybody private message me, and I might have missed it. Does anybody want to practice their help desk scenario in front of the large group, or is everyone like, nah, I'm good? If you want to, you can just raise your hand and we can call on you. I'll give you 10 seconds to decide. All right. I guess everyone's thought the performance yesterday was just too good. They don't want to follow up. I totally understand. All right. Opening exercise in the chat box. Last night's deliverable was to watch the Outlook scheduling video. So I want you to do me a favor in the chat box. What was something about that you found interesting or surprising? You may also raise your hand and I'll call on you. We'd rather speak it instead of put it in the chat. Let's go Matthew, then Tyrell.
So one thing I found interesting was that I didn't know because I've never used Outlook before, but when you set up meetings, you can actually put a status for the attendees to that meeting. So I found that pretty interesting, so that if anyone else tries to invite them or set up their own personal meeting outside of that they can't.
Yeah, that is a really nice feature for sure. Thank you for sharing that, Tyrell.
Similar to the previous person speaking, I'm so sorry I forgot your name, but Matthew. Yes, sorry. I'm new to Outlook as well. I've used it maybe once or twice, but the fact that you can remind people you can set up a reminder for people to accept the meeting request. I thought that was kind of amazing. Instead of constantly being in someone's face, don't forget the meeting, don't forget the meeting. They have that notification right there to be like, did you accept the meeting request? And they can either accept or deny it from there.
Absolutely. That is a huge win in the working world, Tyrell, because you're in a lot of meetings and no human has the ability to remember who they're meeting with, where they're meeting, what time it is. So having that calendar, it is really important. Joshua Harrison, what would you add?
One thing, I've used Outlook meetings for my previous job, but one of the things I did not know you could do was if somebody requested a meeting, you can, and you're not able to make the time, you could click one of the options to request for a different time to meet so that everybody's on the same page. So that's something I had no clue about.
Yes, that is a really cool feature. We'll actually spend some time talking about schedule assist. So Joshua, if you were like, I would meet with Eric, but at 3 p.m., but he's busy at 3 p.m., Joshua can go in and look at my calendar and see when I'm available and schedule a meeting with me, which is great. Alan, what would you add?
Hello, Alan Duran here. Something that I liked is, for reference, I've never used Outlook, and if I have, I don't remember. But I like the fact that you can put who is required and who is optional. Some people have very loaded days in the workplace, and if it's an optional choice for them to join, and they have like a million and one other things to do, they could opt out of it. Or if they're required, well, then now they need to make time. So it keeps up a sense of accountability for certain people.
Yes, absolutely, Alan. Really good observations for sure. And one of the things I also appreciate is about Outlook is that you can just go to someone's calendar, see when they have free space, and schedule a meeting, as opposed to me and Alan sending 47 emails back and forth trying to pick a time, because that would be really annoying, because me and Alan are both busy professionals. Let's hear from Tug Rule.
Okay, so I did actually the comparison of 2019 with the 365, but the same page, like meeting only. So I paid attention. There is a make recruiting in advance. It's very good, useful, because I do always forget to remind me things. So if you're gonna do in a first page and in advance, you can do for a month, for a year, for a week,
Yes.
So that's useful. Also, scheduling assistant, I really like that, because you can see the other people time, and you can manage, and you put the exact time which everybody is available. So you don't have to call them, ask them, or put an optional or required, or they're gonna then refuse it. You have to make again scheduling. So you do always, and you see their schedule, and you do your job according everybody's like time.
Yes, excellent. Really good point, Tug Rule. Thank you so much. Let's hear from one more person. How about Michael?
Yeah. So I like how there's a response option to let you know if the attendees are coming or are accepting or declining the invitation. It will help us allocate the resources, and that's about it.
Yeah, excellent. Very helpful. Yeah, for sure to know that. We spend a good amount of time on Outlook in this class, because most internships are going to go to use Outlook, and knowing how to write a professional email, which you'll learn about in business communications, knowing how to schedule meetings like we're talking about right now, and email signature. All of these things are a really critical part of your growth and development during the L&D phase. So if you were watching the video last night, or whenever you watched it and you felt like, oh my gosh, I'm in over my head, I'm not really familiar with Outlook, don't worry. We're going to spend a good amount of time covering it and chatting about it. So I want to just put this on the screen. Which best describes you when it comes to calendaring? Are you letter A, where you have a digital calendar and all your important dates are on it? Are you B, you have a digital calendar but you don't keep track of everything? C, you have a paper calendar and everything's on there? D, it's hit or miss? Or E, I don't have a calendar, it's on my brain because I am super smart. In the chat box, which one is you? Let's take a look at the chat. Let's see, we got some variety here. All right, all right. A few E's, a few C's. I see a couple of A's. All right, Kaisha, you put A. Do you mind unmuting yourself and sharing what platform do you use, or what app do you use to keep track of your events?
Sure. I use Outlook, and I also use the calendar on my iPhone. It really helps when it comes to like keeping track of bills and what's gonna be taken out of my account, because sometimes I just don't have it. So,
no, yeah, makes perfect sense. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Kayla, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, I selected C, so I have a paper calendar, and I feel like that helps me out, because whenever I write things down, I tend to remember them a little bit more. So I have like a paper desk calendar where I write everything down on.
Oh, excellent. Okay, great. That's really good to know. Love it. Yeah, Megan.
I picked B because I do have a digital calendar, and I was doing really good with like updating it and like syncing everything, so that way I can like know my important dates, and I also use it to like track my bills. But then sometimes I forget to update it, and I just tend to like just go based off of memory.
Yeah, yeah, got it, for sure. I mean, if we're honest, all of us are probably a blend of all these things. Thank you for sharing, Megan. Izzy, what would you add?
So I'm also I use a digital calendar, but I also use my Google Home. So, speaking to Google, I could just say, hey, I don't want to say it because it's gonna activate, but I can say hey, and then I'll say set a timer or set a date for this day, so that way it reminds me, or set a reminder for me doing laundry at this specific date, so I'll remember.
Yeah, I love that, Izzy. I'm glad you brought that up because that's something that I do as well with Siri. I'll think of something, but I'm like maybe on a train or I'm out, so I'll just say, hey Siri, remind me at 4 p.m. to call Joe, and that reminds me, which is kind of sweet. Awesome. Khadijah?
Yeah, I would also like to add, I use Google Calendar. Personally, I like it because you can like dwindle it down to like just 3 days or a week or a month. You can also like label it as an event, a task, or a reminder. Or so yeah, I like Google the way it's designed and laid out.
Yeah, excellent. And the nice thing is too, Khadijah, if you're used to Google Calendar, Outlook will be a very easy transition for you because they have very similar user interface, UI, so it won't be much of a challenge for you. So that's good to know. Last but not least, Mr. Joshua Harrison.
Yeah, so I don't normally use calendars because I feel like if I don't check it, then I'm gonna forget. So I ended up using this Microsoft to-do list. Since I'm going to be mostly on my computer, I always just click the app and then it just shows me a list of my different tasks, and I could set like the time and date for when they're due, or set a reminder. So I found that a little bit more easier than using a calendar.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. I'm a big fan of having an app that reminds you of when events happen, because let's just be honest, we're humans. Sometimes we get caught up in work, we get caught up in talking to someone on the phone, we get caught up in looking at Instagram, whatever, and then we just forget things that are happening. So to have a little nudge like, hey, you're meeting with so-and-so in 15 minutes, have to be very helpful. So next question, you can raise your hand or put it in the chat box. Why is having a calendar important? I mean, it's a pretty obvious question. Some of us have already hit it, but why is it an important part of your professional life? Franklin, I saw your hand first.
Well, it's important because a big part of our professional life is to know how to time manage. If you don't have a calendar and you have a career, you're gonna have plenty of things to do. And if you don't know how to time manage all those activities, you're gonna be very sorry.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you become a professional, and I'm going to share my calendar here in a few minutes, you'll get an idea of what my typical work week looks like, and you'll see why calendar is so critical. I see Eli.
Yeah, I was gonna say organization, because you might have like a lot of stuff to do, so you don't want to just like overwhelm yourself.
Yes, absolutely. No, what's really amazing about what you just shared, Eli, is that when I'm working and I don't have things written down, I feel very stressed and overwhelmed. But then I start writing them down piece by piece. I'm like, oh, okay, like this might be a lot of stuff, but it's definitely manageable, and I can go ahead and handle it. So great point. Davian?
I feel like also just keeping track with your colleagues as well. The fact that we could just send each other calendar invites to like a meeting or whatever it may be. It just makes everything simpler than just having to reach out to them and be like, oh, we have a meeting at this time or something like that.
Yes, absolutely. Because what it does is it makes the technology work for you, right? You're not like Davian's not texting Eric like, hey, we're still good to meet at 4 o'clock. It's like, yep, it's on the calendar. We're still good to go. If we weren't, we would have rescheduled the meeting. So it saves you time in the long run. Let's hear from Alex, and then we're gonna go ahead and keep moving on.
Well, they basically kind of said like what I was gonna say, like so I agree with them, and like I would also say that it's very mentally like being organized and knowing what you have to do it helps you like how do I say it? Like in general with yourself, with your personal life, like you know, I don't know how to say it, to be honest.
No, yeah. No, I mean, you said it. You said that, like, once you get to a certain threshold, like, we just can't remember everything. You know, our brains don't have the capacity to do so. And what Miguel just put in the chat box, I love it. Removes a lot of anxiety because you see your workflow right in front of you. So give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and share my calendar and just give you an idea of like what does my work life look like a given work week. And I would be curious to hear your thoughts and what sticks out to you. I'll go ahead and pull it up. There we go. So this is my week this week. So as you can see right here, Intro to Computers, Section A, there's the link. As you can see below that, I have a stand-up meeting right after this. So woohoo, class is going to end early because I got to get to that meeting. What's something that you notice? Either raise your hand or in the chat box. You're like, oh, that's interesting that you do it that way on your calendar. So maybe you do the same thing. Kayla?
So mine comes out a little differently. I know you have yours like laid out across, like all your events showed up. Mine shows up a little differently. Can I share my screen really quick?
Not right now, but we'll take a look at it here in a moment.
Sounds
So
good,
we'll come back to you, Kayla. Let's hear from Brandon.
I like that you have your Zoom links in the right below, your meeting, so that you know exactly where you have to go to. You don't have to really search in emails, and you have the link right there.
Yes, that is a really important distinction because anytime you send an email in the virtual space, you have to, and even the physical space. Like if we were in the office right now, and I said, "Hey, Brandon, let's meet up at 1 o'clock." Okay, sounds great. But I never told you where we're meeting. Are we meeting in the cafeteria? Are we meeting in my office? Are we meeting at the Starbucks down the street? Like, well, no one knows, right? So in the virtual space, you put your Zoom link. In the physical space, you put, we're going to meet at 1 o'clock on, in this room, in this conference room to talk. So making sure that you always have the location. And Sikander, what would you add to this conversation?
You've made your calendar easier to keep up with because you don't have to put in the meetings manually every week if they're recurring.
Yes, absolutely. Really good catch. I'm glad that you brought that up because what I'm going to do here is this is Outlook. Yes, it's like, look, see how like a lot of things don't change, right? A lot of it's the same color, same everything. So like what I did when I made like the intro to computers, what I had done is I just said this is every Wednesday at 10:30 for the next 6 weeks, and I know it's there, it's done. It's got a little, I don't know if you can see my mouse or not, but just go ahead and grab this guy. Like you can see, this is the recurring symbol. That means it's happening over and over again. Yeah, excellent point. Thank you, Sikander. Last comment from, let's see here. I think everyone has their hand up. Spoke already. Let's go back to Davian.
It was mentioned a few times in the chat, but the color orientation really, I feel like it organizes even further because I see you have lunch, they're all orange, the classes are all green. Just makes it easier to read rather than just a whole bunch of information.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm glad that you noticed that as well. One thing that I would like to do in my calendar that I need to update is like when I have white space, like look at Tuesday. I mean, I had class with you guys. I had my lunch break and then I had 2 meetings in the afternoon. Like I should take that space and put in like at this time, like from let's say, I don't know, 11 to 12, I'm grading. And then from 1 to 3, I'm working out. Things like that. The reason why I would do that is because people will look at my calendar and be like, oh, Eric has a completely free afternoon. Let me schedule a meeting with him. And maybe it's something I want to do. Maybe it's something I should do. Maybe it's something that's not. So if you notice, like a more traditional day is like Thursday, where it's pretty well nonstop from about 10:30 to 5 o'clock. There's little gaps here and there. And one thing, and this is the most important thing I'm going to say to you all day, is make sure that you guard your time that you're going to be away from your desk. So if you notice at 1 hour, 12:30 to 1:30, I eat lunch. And sometimes I eat lunch, sometimes I work out, sometimes I go for a walk, sometimes I take a nap, sometimes I read a magazine, but I always have at least 1 hour of the day where it's like, please don't, schedule anything with me. As you can see, it doesn't always work out perfectly. Like today I have internship seminar, so half an hour of my lunch break will kind of get cut into, but that's fine. And I find that the more you grow in your career, the easier it is to fill this up from 9 to 5. And I encourage you not to do that, to provide space in your day and your schedule to be open, to be free. Okay, Kayla, do you want to go ahead and share your screen? Let's take a look at what yours looks like.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and share it. So give me 1 second. All right, so this is what my screen looks like, and it comes up like this. So like for color coordination wise, it's a little different. Do you know how to like put it like towards yours? Like how like you have it set up like color wise?
Yeah, so what you have to do is, well, first of all, you're looking at the month view. You want to change it to like the week view. It'll be a little bit easier then. Yeah. All right, now like click, like just like single-handedly click on one.
Okay.
And then I'm used to doing it on the actual desktop version. Does anybody know how to do it on the webmail version? You can raise your hand and help us out here. So I'm used to doing it the other way.
Like on the app version of it.
Yeah, I'm not used to changing the colors on the app. I haven't done it that way. I'm used to doing it like on the actual. So it looks like Jesus has his hand up. Jesus, do you know how to change the colors on the webmail version?
Is this what is this? Is this the app or is this the web browser?
This is the web browser.
So all you have to do is right click on the little box and you should get the more options thing, and then you should be able to change the color.
Oh yeah, he's right. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up mine. So here's my screen again. So if I right click, categorize, and then there's all my categories. You see, and the other cool thing, I forgot to mention this earlier, you can use this, you don't have to. You can press a charm. So like, you know, at lunch, is there a food charm? There it is, a fork and a knife. And then that should, there it goes, pop up there. And then enter the computers, add a charm. I don't know why people do this, but I guess it's kind of fun. I'll just put a briefcase. And I have a briefcase next to all my intro to computer classes. So yeah, right click, and then you can change your color that way. Thank you, Jesus, for helping us with that.
No problem.
I'm assuming most of you will be doing it on the web browser, so I'm going to do my best to always demo on the web browser, but to be transparent, like I typically use it on the actual application that you download. So that's why I sometimes, you know, have a hard time with that. Yeah, Davian?
I just wanted to ask, is there a way for us to transfer like all of our schedule like automatically into Outlook, or do we have to manually enter all that information?
Yeah, to my knowledge, you have to manually enter. Does anybody know a way to do it automatically? I don't think there is. Jesus, is there a way to do it automatically?
Repeat the question.
Not that I know of, but what I was gonna suggest is the next best thing is just downloading the Schoology app. You know, it has an app for the phone, and you can just pull up a calendar on there.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, the question was like you know, if you notice Kayla's screen, like she already had her classes in her Outlook scheduled, which is great and very smart. And what was asked was, is there a way to do it automatically from Schoology into, you know, Outlook? But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there is one. But that could be an app that you can develop and probably make a lot of money. So anybody interested in a tech startup, there you go. There's a $1 million idea. Find a way to integrate Schoology into Outlook. All right, but good question. I wish there was a way. That'd be really helpful. All right, we're going to talk about recurring calendar invites. Does anybody know what that term means? You can raise your hand if someone says a recurring calendar. We've talked about it a little bit already, but what does that mean? Yeah, Alan?
Hello, this is Alan. Recurring calendar, I guess the main word to focus on is recurring. So it happens on a consistent basis, if it's a calendar invite, you're consistently getting it, or if it's a calendar event itself, maybe it's like a weekly basis thing, kind of like our schedules.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Thank you so much, Alan. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually do some practice with recurring calendar invites, because obviously you have a lot of recurring events that happen here at Year Up, and you also will have them in your professional life as well. So one of the cool things about Zoom is I can actually give one of you control of my screen, and you can create an event on my screen, or you can do it on your own, whichever one you'd rather do. For the sake of keeping it streamlined, we'll do it on mine. So is there anybody here who feels very confident in their ability to create a recurring calendar invite that wants to volunteer? Yeah, Sikander, I saw your hand first. So Sikander, I'm going to give you the mouse, and you can go ahead and have control. So go ahead and confirm that works for me, please. All right, there we go. All right, Sikander, let's say that you and I are going to meet every Tuesday at 2 p.m. To discuss intro to computers. How do you think you'd go about scheduling that recurring event?
I'd go to Tuesday. Or I can just click new. Meeting. You probably post a Zoom link here.
Yeah, we can just leave that blank for now, but yep, you post a Zoom link there.
Start Tuesday, you said 2 o'clock?
Yep, Tuesday, let's say 2 to 2:30, we're going to meet for the next 5 weeks.
2:30. Repeat every Tuesday. For 5 weeks?
5 weeks, yep.
One, 2, 4, 5.
Perfect.
And reminder, 15 minutes?
15 minutes is perfect. So what will happen now is Sikander will get the the reminder that we have that meeting. So there's 2 more things I want you to do for me, sir.
Add people?
You got it. So
I guess my email's not there, so I just put mine in.
yeah, just go ahead and punch it in, and obviously you don't have to accept it because we're not going to actually be it.
Actually, I forgot the format. Is it my full first name or my full last name?
It's the first letter of your first name, and so it's probably SK. Yeah, there you go.
That's correct, right?
You got it. Yep. So you put that, and then the one last thing I want you to do is that in the bottom in the description box, I just want you to punch in what are we discussing in our 30-minute meeting on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. So we'll put discussing progress for intro to computers. All right, so we're not going to press send for the sake of keeping our calendars clean, but then what Sikander just did is an A+. What does he have? The meeting has a title. The location would be my Zoom link. He invited himself to the meeting every Tuesday, 2 to 2:30, recurring 5 times. And very critical is that you put why we're meeting. All right. So why is that? Thank you so much, Sikander. I'm going to go ahead and take the remote control back. Let's go ahead and stop sharing. You can raise your hand if you would like to. Why is having a note, within the body of the invite important of what's going to be discussed? Like, why is that a critical part of your professional life? Why not just be like, hey, we're going to meet Tuesday at 2 o'clock? What are you thinking, Claire?
Because I feel like by just saying that we're going to have a meeting and not really specifying what we're going to have a meeting about, I feel like it leaves the door like too open. Most people would want to know what it is they're walking into, and if there's something that they need to prepare for themselves or have questions or comments. Confused. But yeah, so that people know exactly what it is that they're expecting from this meeting, and if they have any comments or concerns that they could walk into the meeting with.
You're 100% correct, and Claire, there's nobody that you work with ever that wants you to invite them to a meeting without giving an idea of what the meeting is about, because they want to prepare for the meeting. They want to make sure that they maximize their time with you. And if that's not there, then that's just missing. So the 5 things that you really want to make sure that you have in one of these meeting invites is you want to obviously have the details up top. Let me go ahead and share my screen one more time. You want to have, where is it now? There we go. The details up here. Let me get my notes here. Make sure you have this. What's this meeting called? Meeting with Sikander, you also could say Sikander and Eric meet. We didn't do it this time. We want to make sure you have a location. This is the Zoom link. This is the Starbucks. This is the room we're meeting at. You add the people you want to work with. You have the start time, the end time. Obviously, that's pretty, easy to know. Two things I did not know, but sometimes you have an all-day meeting. And very rarely will you use this in work unless it's something like, if I'm putting a meeting that Eric is out of the office this day, I would do an all-day thing. You also, if you're having a private conversation, you can make it private. Not really much of a need for that, but you could do that as well. Repeat, how often, what he did there, starts 3:16, ends 4:20, the reminder. And then of course, this is really critical, guys. If you ever send a calendar invite and there's not, what we're discussing, I would reject it. I'm not gonna meet with you because I don't know what we're talking about. So fill that in and then we can go from there. So that's how to do a recurring calendar invite. Thank you so much, Sikander. I see 2 hands. I'm guessing those were questions or comments. So let's start with Khadija.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on to what everyone else was saying. I think if you don't specify what the meeting is about, people have priorities. And so if you're not specifying whatever that email is about or that meeting is about, they might just skip over it, even though it might be an important meeting.
Yes. Absolutely, you're 100% right. So making sure that you share how critical this meeting is, because people do prioritize what they accept and what they don't. Yeah, Kayla, what would you add?
Oh, sorry, she just said what I was gonna say.
Okay, cool. And Claire?
Just a quick question. Just think, I don't know if you mentioned it. So we add what the premise of the meeting is about, like in the body.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. In the body. And so the title, we put Eric and Sikander meet. You have to put a whole lot of details in there just to put, what the general idea is. And then the body is what you put, like the topic. It doesn't have to be incredibly in depth. Let me see if I can find an example of discard. Let me see if I can find something. Let me find one. It's like a good example. Here we go. So many things to click around here. All right. So here's an example. Me and Vanessa, we're meeting at 1 o'clock on Thursday from 2 to 2:45. So we're moving our meeting up because normally we meet at 4. This is our weekly one-on-one. Go into this link, type in that, do the agenda. We'll meet at this Zoom link to discuss. That's a perfect example of a meeting. That's how it should look. It should not be Eric and Vanessa meet. Well, why? What are we talking about? What's going on here? How can I prepare? That's just going to cause stress. Yeah, Kayla.
So I had a quick question. How would I sync your schedule, for your classes, to my Outlook schedule?
Yeah, does anybody want to pull up their screen and demo how you would do that? We already saw that. How would you show all of your classes with the Zoom links and all that good stuff? Yeah, Joshua, go ahead, take it away.
Sorry, I'm just share this. All right, can you guys see it? Okay, so you just hit the share button and then you'll type in the email of the contact person that you want to share your calendar with. And so then that way, once you share it, it'll sync up with them. I don't think I have anybody's email to actually type that in.
Is that what you were asking, Kayla?
Yeah, so I would just put your email address in that box and then our calendars would be shared.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. That's right.
Sure. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you for sharing that, Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Claire, one more comment or question, then we're going to take our break.
I have a question, and this is with asking for your permission, Eric. Is it possible that if anybody's on this chain that has a MacBook, if you could allow them to share their screen and show us how to use it, because using Outlook on a PC versus a MacBook, it's different.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Of course. Is there anybody here who has a MacBook that feels proficient in scheduling calendar invites that can demo it for Claire? Doesn't look like we have anybody on the chat right now, and Claire. So what we can do, Toggle, you do.
I mean, mine is Mac, but I do use the online Outlook calendar. So it's the same as you show us right now.
It's the same one? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, I can share the screen to make sure that this is the one.
Well, why don't we do this? It's 11:11 right now. Let's take a short break. And if it's okay, and Claire and Tog Rule, I'll put you guys into a breakout room and you guys can chat about it there. If there's anybody else who wants to go into that breakout room because you also have a Mac.
Yes, I would like to go there too.
Yeah, Desmond, please. I was going to ask you just to please put in a chat box because I'm not going to know if everybody shouts out that they want to go in. So put in a chat box. I want to go in that breakout room. Everybody else can go on a break, and we'll see you guys at 11:20.
Wait, can I be in the breakout room as well?
Yeah, please put in a chat box. All right, I think I have everybody. I'm going to open the rooms. If you don't see it, come on your screen. On you want to go, let me know. I think I got everybody though. All right, folks, it is 11:20. We're going to go ahead and come back on screen. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do a quick body check. Make sure you're sitting up, sitting straight up, shoulders back. Someone's off mute. And one of the things I like to do whenever I'm like trying to get myself back into the game is take a deep breath through my nose. Exhale through my mouth. I don't know why. Just like doing that one thing, it just kind of helps my whole body feel a little bit better. So when I was younger in my 20s, I used to do a lot of powerlifting, which is a very intense sport. But as I got a little bit older, now I'm more into like yoga, meditation, and deep breathing. I'm not nearly as macho as I used to be. And I think becoming a father has made me more, a little more into that. So anyways, with that being said, welcome back. Thank you all for being back on time and on camera. We're going to transition now for our last activity of the day, which is a breakout to put into practice what we discussed in today's lesson. So I'm going to put you into small groups, 3-4 people. And what you're going to do is you're going to go with your small group and you're going to make an event together. All right. The event could be, we're all going to go bowling together. We're all going to, go out to eat together. We're all going to go to Central Park together, whatever you want. All right. It just has to make sure that it's a time that works for everybody. It has a clear set agenda and be prepared on how you did that with the group. All right. So this is an opportunity for you to practice what you've learned. And let's see who comes up with something. And I will give extra points to whoever has the most creative activity you're going to do together. All right. Last semester, somebody said, yes, 1 calendar per group. Last semester, somebody said they're all going to meet up at the bodega to buy me a pair of Timbs, which I'm like, you don't buy Timbs at the bodega. I don't even know why that makes any sense. So whatever you think is right. All right. We don't have a whole lot of time, but Izzy and Claire, you have a question, Izzy, on the deliverable?
Yeah, just one question, simple question. Can it be any calendar app?
Ideally, you would use Outlook. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep. And Claire?
My question is actually pertaining to Outlook. So what's the difference between putting something in your calendar versus, I see there is a to-do option? Like, yeah, so because isn't a meeting technically something that you need to do?
A to-do is more like, I need to email Ann Claire, and that's going to take me 1 minute. A meeting is, I'm having a 30-minute meeting with Ann Claire, and it's going to take me 30 minutes. So a to-do is more tasks. Meetings is more, long term.
Thank you.
Really good question, and Claire. And yeah, please do not invite me. I do not want to have, how many breakout rooms are we going to have here? I don't want 12 invites to all of your fun activities. You just invite each other. I want to make sure you know how to do it. And I'll see you back here at 11:33. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, Eli.
Which part exactly do you want us to screenshot for the homework?
I want to see what you did. Like, I want to see the calendar invite itself.
Okay. So while we're making it, like, or like when we receive the invite in our calendar.
Either or, but I just want to make sure that you have every element, you have everyone included, you have a location, you have an agenda, you have a time, you have all that stuff included. Yep. Yeah, Megan.
Did we have to save it under any specific name before we submit it to you?
Nope. You can just say screenshot deliverable. That's totally fine. Because the way it works in Schoology is that, like, I'll see your name and then I'll just click on your deliverable and then it's done. So I'm getting a lot of questions about the deliverable. The way I want to see it done is I want to see a screenshot or a saved file that shows this deliverable, like what you did. All right, so it has to be able to see everybody in your group was invited to this calendar invite. Do you have a location of where you're meeting? Do you have a time when you are meeting? And do you have an agenda? If I can see all of those things, then you get a pass. One of those things is missing, then you do not. All right, Miguel.
For the location, is it okay if we just put Zoom link, or should we have like an actual like location?
You can just use my Zoom link if you want. You can just say, like, Eric's, like, copy and paste my link and put it in there, but it should have something.
Okay, because so far for now I just wrote Zoom link in quotation marks because I didn't have an actual link to Zoom link.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, ideally you'd want to have an actual Zoom link, but as long as you have some location, that's okay.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Davian?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so in the process of sending the email, it came up like with a red exclamation point to like my colleagues' email addresses. I wasn't sure why.
Did anybody else have that problem? You can give me like a green check. Okay, it doesn't look like anyone else had that problem, so it might be something technical on your end. But just send me a screenshot of your calendar invite. That's the deliverable. You don't have to actually send it. All right, you just have to show me that you know how to make it. So no, if it doesn't go through, that's fine.
All right, and then just one more question. Am I sending it for the rest of my group as well? Like, they don't have to send anything themselves?
Oh, good question, Davian. Thank you for asking that. No, every single person needs to submit a screenshot. If you do not submit a screenshot, you do not get credit. Yep. Jason?
I'm gonna guess that ISC is the extension for the save that you would get for Outlook, but I want to
Correct.
confirm with that.
Yes, that's the extension. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Kayla?
Sorry, I forgot to lower my hand. My question was answered.
No problem. Miguel, do you have another question?
No, sorry, I just forgot to raise it.
Okay, and Jason, I'm guessing same thing? All right, cool.
Yep.
All right, I got 5 more minutes. I'd be interested in seeing how some of you, at least one of you did it. David, did you want to report out in your group?
And I just had one more question, sorry. Should I just share the same screenshot with them, or like how would that work?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, ideally everybody would do their own screenshot, but if you want to share it, that works too. All right, so Sikander, I saw your hand first. Do you want to share with your team how you did it?
Yeah, I should screen share it. So, go by week. So we decided to go to archery.
Cool.
And let me just go to the edit page. We decided to go to archery. I invited to their Europe email so they could respond by accepting or declining. It would be this Saturday between 5 and 7. We would put about a 2-hour window. Never repeat because we don't plan on going more than 1 week as of this time. Put the address of the area there, and this is the description.
Excellent. So Sikander, just keep your screen up for one moment, please, sir. So if Sikander screenshotted this and sent it to me, he would get full credit because he has everything I'm looking for here. He has what they're doing, archery, who's going, Alan, Audrey, Diane, when they're going, 3:20, what time, 5 to 7, where, Gotham Archery, and what's happening. We're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna go shoot bows and arrows. So everything is there. That's perfect. That's 100%. So if you're uncertain how to do this assignment, look at Sikander's, and that's what I'm looking for. All right, what happens sometimes with people is they forget one of these things. They forget to put the address, they forget to put the time, they forget to put the description, and then it costs them a point. So thank you for showing us, Sikander. We have time for one more demo. How about Tug Rule? Since you have a big smile on your face, you must have a very good one.
All right, so I'm gonna share my screen very fast.
Yep.
So we have created the coffee shop. So mine is Mac. I wanna show you as I did this event. So Justin also had an iPad, and Zunair also fortunately had a Mac computer. So we decided to meet in a coffee shop, and when I wrote even coffee, there is some sign is coming, so it's very interesting. And I sent them email for the VRAP email. This actually, then the time is the Friday from 2 p.m. till 2:30. And I actually did all the day, but to make sure that it's gonna be all Friday. So each Friday we're gonna meet each other in a Starbucks, which is located in Kings Highway. And yeah, just a reminder for me 15 minutes earlier, and let's have fun, folks. And that's the
Awesome. Do me a quick favor, Tug Rule. This was perfect. Hover over Starbucks again. I want to show our team.
Okay, so
yeah, look how cool this is. So it shows you the address, the phone number, and even the hours that they're open. Pretty cool.
Yes.
So awesome. Thank you, Tug Rule. Really appreciate you you doing that. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up class now. Brian, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Brian, can you just do me a small favor and read the deliverables, which are both due tomorrow night?
Sure. Deliverables by tomorrow night. Save your calendar invite as an was that an I or L?
.ics. That's the
.ics or screenshot and submit on Schoology by 11:59 p.m. by tomorrow night. By tomorrow night, respond to at least 2 posts in the discussion board due tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m.
And the reason why you're probably thinking, wow, Eric, is a little redundant. You said tomorrow night twice in both sentences. I did that on purpose because every single time I posted the deliverable, people always say, when does this due? So there it is, 4 times when it's due. So you have to wonder, when's this due? There it is, written 4 times in the flesh. With that being said, I have to run to a meeting. I see 3 or 4 hands up. I can probably take 1 or 2 questions. If I don't get to your question and you have to go, there's my email. Email me, and I'm more than happy to respond to you within the end of the workday. So we're going to officially adjourn class. Thank you all for being here today. Hope you learned something. And if you have a question, feel free to stay back. Bye, everybody.
See you guys.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
I do have a question.
I have a
Have a good day.
If you have a question, you can stay back and raise your hand. And I believe I saw Miguel's hand first.
Yeah, just a quick question about the discussion board. Which discussion board is it exactly? Like, is it the one that was due? Is it tomorrow night at 11:59? But is it for the? I'm sorry, I need
No,
to
it's
find
okay.
the
It's
Schoology.
okay. It's okay. There's one discussion board. The original deliverable was due last night. That was your
Okay.
original post. 3 sentences describing the video. The second part of that deliverable is responding to 2 of your colleagues. All right. So some people already did both. Some people already did the original post and they already responded to 2 colleagues and they're done. All right.
Oh,
So,
okay, cool.
So what I'm saying is by tomorrow night, respond to at least 2 posts, and then that's it. Then you're done with the deliverable.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Izzy?
So well, I'm already in a meeting. So I saw that in the demonstration that some people did. My Outlook looks a bit different. Is that
Okay.
because can I screen share real quick?
Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you. Which one is it? This one. So mine's look a bit. That's not it. Wrong one. You should. Here we go. This one. This looks like this. I don't know if it's because I'm using the Windows app or mine's outdated.
No, this is perfect. This is the one that I normally use as well. The one I demoed with was a webmail version. This is like the actual application that you have downloaded. This one's actually better, I think, but most people have the webmail version.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure. All right, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. You're in good business.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right,
Okay.
Sabrina.
Oh, God.
Hi, Rick. My computer crashed. I messaged you earlier and I had the Zoom meeting and everything over there, so I couldn't join back in. I had to make a whole different account and join from another computer. I'm not sure if you saw.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to my computer. I might have to just get a new one because it's been very, very slow. And every time I turn my camera on, the video quality goes very, very down and I could barely hear the audio for the Zoom meeting.
Okay, yeah, it might need a new computer. Are you in talks with Linda?
I'll have to get in contact with her in order to get it because I've been having this issue for the last week. So that might be something. But I got the assignment down, so I'll have that. Did I miss anything by any chance?
Yeah, we did a breakout, but that's okay. I understand that these issues happen, but I would just talk to Linda and get your machine updated and you should be good to go.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Yeah, Rashi.
Yeah, so my question is the deliverable that we have due today, that's just with the what we just did with our partner?
Yes, what you just did with your partner, screenshot it and submit it. And it's actually due tomorrow. So you
Okay.
have all day today and all day tomorrow to submit it.
Okay, so my question is, do we do we have to do our own or the one that we both worked on? Even so, like when I worked on it, Brian did it on his computer and he shared his screen. Do I share like what he sent to me, or do I make my own and screenshot it and send him like the invite like he did to me?
Right, you should make your own, but you don't have to actually send it because you're not actually doing it. Just
Yeah.
I want to see that you know how to make it.
Okay, and just take the screenshot and submit it in the file, right?
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day. See ya.
You too. All right.
Bye.